Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode on the podcast. This is now episode 5 of season 1 of the Albion Angle podcast, and it's just me and Teddy today. We haven't got another Matt joining us.
We've had 2 Matts in a row, haven't we? And now it's just me and Arch. It's like
Yeah,
Matts today.
hopefully, Matt Avery can be a regular figure on the podcast.
Yeah, we love having him on.
But he couldn't get on today.
Yeah.
So, how are you, Teddy? Have you calmed down after the weekend?
To be honest, mate, I don't think it really rolled me up too much. I know a lot of people have been reacting, saying it's same old or we've not changed from last year.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's 37 games to go. That was just the first one. It's a point on the board, right? Move on to the next one. We've got a massive game this weekend, which I know we're going to talk about. And if we win this, I'm sure we'll be forgiven. So yeah.
Yeah. I'm again not massively fussed about like as you said, there's 37 games to go. The moment that ball hit the back of the net, I turned to Mark Holt, the bloke who stands next to me, and I just went, "We are so back."
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think it was is anything to like play the blame game. I think it was just one lapse in concentration.
I think it was a soft goal to concede as a team in general. I don't think there's anything you can pin it on. I just think
I think we could have prevented the corner.
Yeah.
I think if someone very much could have just done a tactical foul and just like
that's the sort of thing which people are saying we have a bit of a stopper under.
Because there are a few players which could have like just tackled him, and then it's more difficult to float the ball into the box than it is to just have a direct cross into the box. I'm not quite sure where 6 minutes of added time came from, but
no, it didn't seem like 6 was the right number.
I mean, I suppose there were 10 subs used, but still, that's like what 2 minutes. Yeah, I mean, there was stuff we could have done in the game to stop it. A few wasted chances. I've seen a few people blaming the subs, which there might have been 1 or 2 subs I would have done differently. I see why he brought on all the players he did.
Yeah.
But I'm not too sure if that was the whole entire. Well, sometimes there's not even a reason why you lose. It's sometimes because it was just one lapse in concentration.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I think it was just one moment or a series of moments where we just switched off for a period of time and we paid the price for that. I mean, it's something that we do often. I do remember multiple times last season, we did drop 22 points from winning positions last season, but we are prone to a bit of a lapse in concentration. We just, in my opinion, I think we need to do more up the other end. I think we need to score more goals so that a lapse in concentration can be allowed to happen rather than... I think realistically we should have been about 3-0 up on Saturday anyway before they equalised, and I could pinpoint multiple games last season where, we played Leicester away and we should have been about 5-0 up and we ended up drawing that 2-2. Wolves at home, we should have been, we were through on goal to make it 3-1 and we ended up drawing the game 2-2. So I feel like there's more we can do in the attacking third that can allow for a lapse in concentration at the back to happen. But then again, like, I'm not going to let Saturday affect my views on where we are going to be at the end of the season too much. I think it's one we need to get out of the way. It's one to learn from. I'm happy that it's happened early in the season because we can react to it. So yeah, I think I'm very positive still. I'm very positive going into Sunday. So I don't really see there's any reason to be worried. So yeah.
Yeah, I think the only bit where I'd kind of play the blame game is probably the players we had on the bench. I thought the subs were good, but that's only because they were the only like available ones to have on the bench. So we had 2 centre backs on the bench.
Yeah.
Both who'd never played in the Premier League before, and obviously I know we're limited now with the Webster injury. I'm not quite sure what's happening with Eagle. But yeah, I think it's not. I just think we need a right back. I think this is the one sub which I alluded to earlier, saying that my one issue was like I had one issue with substitution, and that was Carlos Balibas. Now Baliba did have to come off because, of course, he's had his pre-season knock, but I don't think he. I think we should have pushed Weaver into defensive midfield because as soon as Believer came off, we lost all strength in midfield, and I think the closest player we've got to who does Believer's role the best is Matt Weaver, and that is because he's the second strongest midfielder. And if you've got Tariq Lamptey and Joel Veltman and your starting fullback, when you've got all your fullbacks available, you can even argue Ferdy Kalioglu is a right back, although I see him more as a left back. Your starting left back is a defensive midfielder. Then I don't know how that doesn't scream out in the faces of the people higher up at the club to be like, we actually need a right back.
Yeah,
but if I was Hertzler, I would have pushed Weaver on in midfield and probably put Kalioglu on and put him at right back, although he is more of a left back.
Yeah, I mean he's right-footed, so he would do a solid job at right. I mean,
I also think like
last year,
Kalioglu is a bit of a weird. Like he's more of an attacker. Like he's not. I think he's better. His best performance for us is probably Liverpool when he scored that goal.
Yeah,
and like he was playing on the right wing. I think. Yeah, I think if we left the window with a right back signed, I'd then say that is like a 10 out of 10 good window. But so far, I'm giving it like an 8 because we haven't, again, which we've been screaming out for 5-6 years. And the last time we signed a proper right back was 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
So I think a right back is needed. Interesting, we didn't start with a striker.
Yeah.
Because we've got Welbeck, Costellaz, and I've got told that today you don't say the T in Zimas's name. Apparently, you say Zimas.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, it's like Tzatziki, isn't it? It's spelled with a T, but it's
I think so. Costellaz and Zimas played in the under 21s on Sunday, which I was meant to go to, but I forgot to get my ticket. Apparently they were quite good according to Jack. Apparently West Brom aren't the greatest side, so we beat them 4-0, but not to take like masses out of the scoreline and like up against the team we were playing. But I don't know why Welbeck didn't play because he started up until Spain, and then he played in the second team game. So I'm not sure whether he got
reserve side that kept playing behind closed doors.
I'm not sure whether he got a slight knock, which no one knows about. But
there's a potential that there's that, or it could just be that, especially when Jorginho became fit again. I think Hertzler, he must have seen something in it that makes him want to play him as a number 9. I mean, he played as a number 9 in all 3 of the pre-season games that we played, like post Spain. So
I think
something that. I mean, he played number 9 a few times at Leeds, so I don't know. I mean, he's looked all right up there. I mean, he's not done anything wrong. He drops a solid 7 out of 10, especially when I've watched him. But
I think Hertzler wanted to keep Matt O'Reilly in the side because it came out today on Twitter that apparently Hertzler and O'Reilly had a chat, and this chat was basically assuring O'Reilly game time. And kind of when you do that, you're kind of like, you have to play him now. And I think the only way he was going to get Jorginho in the squad was playing him up front. That is at the cost of having to drop Danny Welbeck. Because I don't think this team would be very good at playing a 2 up front system like a 4-4-2 or a 4-2-4.
It doesn't really
I don't think our team would pull that off. So it did come at the detriment of no Danny Welbeck that Jorginho Rutter played up front. But no, in terms of Saturday, I think a point was probably a fair game. It wasn't one to like capture the eye of anyone.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
quite a boring contest. But there's 37 more games to go to make up from any mistakes. Again, this is one thing which I saw carried on from last season, is that we are so bad at staying onside.
yeah,
Like those games in February and March when we went like 7 unbeaten. My only problem from those performances was that we just didn't stay onside. Because
yeah,
like that Forest game, we could have won it like with 4 minutes to go.
yeah,
Offside. I think we scored at Man City and it was offside. I think we had at least an offside goal every game, or bar like one or two.
yeah. Well, we had like a chance where we were offside. Yeah,
Yeah, so that needs to stop happening.
yeah,
But I think again, there's 37 more games to go, and this lapse in concentration isn't gonna end the season. I don't think it was anyone's fault necessarily that we
no,
lost. People have been pointing the finger at Lewis Dunk. I think actually he was one of the better players in
yeah,
that game.
yeah, yeah. I know, I agree.
People have been pointing the finger at James Milner again. I don't think that was massively his fault. I don't think it was necessarily the wrong substitution. I just think there might have been better options than James
Yeah,
Milner,
yeah.
but that doesn't mean it's a wrong substitution.
No,
And I also think that if that goal didn't go in, then everyone wouldn't be saying these things,
no, no.
because
They
I
wouldn't
think
because we know this. We have quite a reactionary fan base. We have a fan
they're
base that can
so
go six
fickle.
unbeaten and then lose one game and act like the world is over. We need to. I mean, I know that this phrase gets chucked around Brighton social media a lot, but we do need to remember where we've come from a little bit. Like, I feel like dropping points. Yeah, it's disappointing, but it's not the end of the world. And do you know what I mean? Like, I think we need to sort of stop this whole
No, my thing's not
reaction.
even remember where we come from. Mine's like this happens to other teams. It does
Yeah,
seem a
yeah,
lot. It does seem a lot of the time that there are people on Twitter which act like we are the only club which let in last minute goals, and we are the only club which can't see out a game, and that is just not true.
no,
There are
no,
lots of clubs like, for example, we'll take Crystal Palace. I know Man City; they're a very different team to Fulham, but they were 2-0 up, and not only could they not hold on to a 2-0 lead. Bear in mind that they did have quite a lot of time. This is probably a pretty bad comparison, but had a chance to go 3-0 up, and it got ruled out at Man City, and then they went when it conceded 5 goals.
yeah.
So we're
It does
not
happen.
the only team which has that. Oh, talking about Palace, this is where I can get my dig in, because I've seen a lot of them. I've never known a club to win the FA Cup and then moan so much.
Yeah, I know.
Like, they are lucky enough that they are still in Europe.
Yeah,
They are lucky enough that they're in the Conference League. And so they moaned about that. That was fairly valid. They moaned about the Community Shield a bit. I think they moaned about the ticketing and how that
they
worked.
also moaned that they weren't allowed to set a display up beforehand. I think
Yeah,
they were
they moaned about that. And
set
then,
display up.
obviously, they then kind of did it anyway. And it's about UEFA. Obviously, Wembley, who've hosted like 3 UEFA finals, did, like, did they really think that was going to get passed?
But I mean,
And
obviously not.
then they started moaning about European travel, and it's because they're new to this game.
Yeah,
They've never played these games before, and they're
no, we have.
all these little travel agents and accountants in Surrey are all sat there going, "Why can't I get a direct plane?" And it's like, well, because there's like 3 weeks before the game. Like, we had this with Marseille, we had a similar amount of time, but we
Yeah,
just kind of got on with it. Like, just getting a ferry, getting a
I
car.
got a
You could get on
ferry
a
and then a 14-hour train
Yeah,
from
you
the
could get on a plane to
top
like
to the bottom.
Montpellier or something. Like, I
Mm.
think Jamie Bray, friend of the show, went via
Yeah,
Brussels. Like,
yeah,
so again, there's our example actually that you know um every fan base moans, but it's really not that bad.
yeah. It's
Um, so I think that's the Fulham game. pretty much covered, and we're
Yeah.
moving on now
I
to.
mean, the
Oh,
Fulham game, I think the one thing to learn from the Fulham game is that lapses in concentration happens. We don't see games out sometimes, that happens, but there's
the one thing to
37
learn
more
from the
to go.
Fulham game is to get a grip.
Mm. And
Like just
speaking of 37 more games to go, there's a very
the
big game on Sunday,
oh,
isn't there, Arch?
this is where. Hold on, let me get the top fact in here.
Oh, yeah.
This is Archie Corner. So the last time Brighton and Hove Albion played a game at the opening of a men's team stadium. I'm going to do this because I'm not sure if the women's team have played at an opening of the new stadium. And the next time Brighton should play at the opening of the new stadium is the women's team stadium. But the last time we played at the opening of the new stadium was our own. I think it was.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it was in June or July 2011 where we played Eastbourne. The first game at the Amex was the Sussex Senior Cup final. I think
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
was
Gary
against
Hart
Eastbourne
played. We
Borough.
beat Eastbourne Borough 2-0. And then we
Yeah,
played pre-season friendly against Spurs. And then the
yeah, and then we
first
played
game
Doncaster on the first game.
was Doncaster, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember being at that Doncaster
Yeah,
game. My dad threw me 4 foot up in the air when we scored that winner.
I was at that Doncaster game, but I was 1 year old.
Yeah, I
So,
was 4 years old, so
this is going to be the first time I see an opening of a stadium, which I remember.
yeah, and believe you me, I'm very, very excited. I think the
Yeah, I'm looking
atmosphere on
forward to it.
Sunday is going to be unbelievable from both sets of fans. I think we'll be so up for it because it's their big day. We'll be so up for it because it's a new ground for everyone. We'll be so up for it because it's the first away game of the season. And, well, Everton will be up for it. I mean, it's their first home game of the year. They're off the back of, for them, quite a poor result at Leeds.
Yeah.
And they're going to be buzzing for it because it's obviously the ground they've been waiting, 6, 7 years to be built.
Oh, I'm
It's
going to
now
add I'm going to add something to my fact that we were meant to have the opening game of the Tottenham ground,
Yes, yeah, we
but
were.
it got moved because we went to Wembley.
Yeah,
So we could have had this 6 years ago, but we've now got it. We've now got it 6 years on.
yeah, we've got it
At
now.
what I think is a better stadium.
Yeah, yeah,
Personally. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think in terms of a game perspective, I think we could see a quite similar game to Fulham
mm,
in terms of Everton are a stronger team in terms
yeah,
of like actual body strength, not in terms of players who they've got in certain positions. Um,
yeah,
I think it could be a very similar game that we in terms of Fulham.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a very different Everton side to the one we played on the opening day of last season, where we
Yeah, this time
dropped
last
them
year.
3-0. It'll be a very different game to that. I think it'd be tight, it'd be cagey. But if there's any time for Brighton to go away and shithouse a win, it's Sunday. And I do just see us walking away with a really
If we
scrappy
break the
game.
David Moyes curse on the first game of their new ground,
Yeah,
that'd be
that'd be
unbelievable.
unbelievable.
We are not going to get Moyes on
No,
on Sunday. Hopefully, we don't get Moyes. You know, we
yeah,
don't want to tempt fate.
no,
Um,
touch wood.
but no, it would be interesting to see whether the team changes. I personally don't think it will.
No, I don't see it
I think
changing.
the team which played on Saturday did a well enough job. Um, I think the only change I'd make, and this is a bit questionable, and people could say no at the start, is that I wouldn't start Minte because, and hear me out on this one, because people aren't going to like this point because they're not, because especially you didn't like this player. But I think what we lacked on Saturday on the bench was a player like Adingra, which
Knew that was something.
brought a bit of spark off the bench.
Mm,
Like, you know, a bit of wing energy, because a lot of the players who we bought on are quite slow.
yeah,
They're also quite old. I
yeah,
think if Minte came off the bench, he would have a better performance. And I
yeah,
think if you told him that for the like you're going to come on in around the 60th minute, you're going to get half an hour. He's going to properly go for it. And
yeah,
I think you could do that with kind of like when we had Steele and Verbruggen interchanging. I think you could do that with Minte or Matoma or another winger because it just gives you that spark off the bench.
I think that's what Tom Watson's going to be doing this year. I mean, is he got a knock or something? Is there a reason why he's not been involved in
Well,
any squads?
well, he wasn't on the bench or played. He didn't play for the under-21s, I don't think. Neither did he play for the under-21s in the National League Cup against
Yeah,
Aldershot. Apparently, he was at the game, like as you would be as a first-team player who's not
yeah.
playing. But no, I'm not too sure. I think that would be I think it would be maybe good as soon as he gets into the squad to do that thing with him
Him
and
or
Minte.
even
Well,
Gruder.
I think for now you're going to have to do it with Minte.
Yeah, Minte and Gruder maybe. I mean, I know Gruder plays much better when he's playing through the middle, but I just think
Yeah,
we don't really have anyone else in the squad fit at the minute who could do that role as well as either Gruder or
was
Harry
Gruder
Howe.
on the bench on Saturday?
Yeah, I think he was. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I just can't remember seeing him anywhere.
He scored a few times in pre-season. He scored a couple in pre-season.
Yeah, but he scored against Did he score against Wolves or was that Weaver?
No, it was Gruder who scored at Wolves.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
he didn't
Well,
keep.
we're talking about Wolves. This is going to be a slight sidetrack before we come back to Everton. Because Sky TV, you have blood on your hands.
Yeah, as per.
Sorry. Why? Who's watching Wolves Brighton on a Sunday? Other than Wolves and Brighton fans, obviously, who
Yeah.
don't go to the games. Who's watching that? Like, they had.
You know what makes it worse? The better games at the weekend, that weekend, is West Ham Arsenal, same weekend. Man
Bloody.
United Sunderland
That'll
is
be
that
good.
weekend.
Yeah.
How has Brighton Wolves made it onto TV ahead of Man United
Yeah,
Sunderland?
I was looking at the trains earlier, and I hope this is like the train website having a brain fart. But it said that the 6:18 out of Brighton goes all the way to Angmering and then loops back round, and it takes 3 hours to get to Victoria. So if that turns out to be the case, then Blues away, you'll be taking my money.
Yeah.
Once again, I've gone from a guy who doesn't really like going on coaches to like having to go on two in a month.
Yeah, we've got Bournemouth on the coach, haven't we?
Yeah,
But that is because there's train strikes.
yeah, bloody bus replacements. And that's the thing, if I don't get on the 6:18, I'm going to have to get on a bus replacement to Burgess Hill, and then another bus to Clapham, and then another bus to Victoria.
Yeah.
No, Euston, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Man United away, I think the last train which anyone can get, like if they want to go on to somewhere in Sussex, is like 8:15, and it's really bad getting out of Old Trafford.
Well, yeah, you've got an hour to get back to Piccadilly Station, which
Yeah, but
you won't
you're
get
lucky
to
because
allow.
you're gonna bloody live there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's my slight rant over. Also, why couldn't they like? This is now going to sound like really hypocritical because Newcastle fans would be saying the same thing. Out of the games we had that month, surely Newcastle at home is better than Wolves
Yeah.
away. Like whether they have to evenly distribute it in terms of Newcastle have already had a few games on TV.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm not really
but
sure.
but Brighton Newcastle is better than Wolves Brighton.
Yeah, Brighton Newcastle was on TV last
It
year.
was on TV last year, yeah.
Wolves Brighton wasn't either game.
Man, they were both pretty bad. Like even when we won 2-0, it didn't capture the imagination of some
No,
fans.
the only
Oh,
decent
what could happen?
2-2, but that's only
Um,
the last
we played
20.
them 3 times last year. Beat them
Yeah,
in the cup 3-2. That was all right, but
and we played Newcastle 3 times last year as well.
yeah. Anyway, that's my slight TV rant over. If anyone's got any travel suggestions, please let me know. Because
Well, United, you were thinking of going up on the Friday, and we can do a
yeah,
bit
I
of a
might go up on a Friday and watch Preston Sheffield United, but I
Preston
don't know
Sheffield
yet.
United. Yeah, so
Especially
Charlie
for
Wingard
Wolves.
will be seeing you.
Yeah, especially for Wolves. If anyone's got any travel suggestions for Wolves on the train,
You can walk
then
it
I'll
again.
do that. Yeah, but anyway, back to Everton, which I'm driving to. In terms of if anyone wants to know what I'm doing with travel, I might go to a game on the game on the Saturday. If anyone's up there, I might go to Bolton, Lincoln.
Yeah, that'd be a decent one.
Oh, I think Preston are playing. Although I might save Preston for
Yeah, save Preston to
that Man
for when we
U
go
weekend.
in October.
Yeah, but anyway, back to Everton, another new ground. What was I saying about it? Oh, I was saying that I think it's going to be a very similar game to Fulham.
Yeah,
That Everton, quite a strong team,
yeah,
coming up against us, quite in terms of like body strength, a fairly weak team.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I'll be interested to see if there's any rotations because I don't think there needs to be any massive rotations.
No,
I think
the
that
only change I'll
Minte,
make is maybe bringing one of the new strikers onto the bench. I think just having
yeah.
that extra young attacking option.
Hopefully it's Costellas, so I can sing my song.
Yeah,
If if you search up Archie White double underscore on Twitter, you can see a song about Costellas and Albion kebabs. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, you got to bear in mind we've also got Oxford on the Wednesday. So
Yeah. So
whether Herzler goes strong in the League Cup, because I think other than the name being like obviously you want to win the FA Cup over the League Cup in terms of stature of the competition, but I think
yeah,
the League Cup's actually the easier one to go for,
yeah,
and
yeah, it is.
it secures you Europe in March. It it gives you a lot of um, you only get one fixture moved.
Yeah,
Um, if the FA Cup you get to the final, you have two moved.
yeah,
Um, obviously, as I mentioned, you get Europe in March.
yeah.
Um,
Which would be a nice sort of
also,
relaxation.
a lot of it's not in areas where you get a lot of fixture congestion.
Yeah,
Because,
it's not. It's always either just before or just after international breaks.
yeah, for example, I think we've got Tottenham after a week in what could be a Champions League week.
Yeah,
And I think this might be wrong, but I think they're starting to do Champions League games on Thursdays.
yeah. I
Um,
think they are. I think there's a few.
yeah, because if you go on the ticket website, it does say beware the Tottenham game could be moved.
Yeah,
Um, but anyway, yeah, so it'd be interesting to see who plays, whether he saves the players for Oxford, which I don't think hurts the will. Whether he
no,
saves a select few players for Oxford, because there might be
potential.
one or
Yeah.
two. Um,
I have a
whether
feeling the
Dunk,
side that will play at Oxford will be similar to the sides that played behind closed doors in
yeah,
pre-season.
and
I think
they look pretty good to be
your
fair.
Gruders, your Sarmientos, your
Yeah,
Costalasses, maybe
and
Welbeck.
whether some of those players will like still be there before the game because we got to remember we still got 2 weeks to go until the window closes.
Yeah, I mean Oxford's a week today, so I
Sarmiento's
expect.
normally a often a lone figure nowadays.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, same as some of the people in that team. I'm not sure if Andrew Moran has gone out on loan yet. I can't remember whether he has or not. I don't think he
No,
has.
no, no. Yao Koué has, but I don't think Moran
Yeah,
has.
Koué has. That's a good loan, to be fair.
Hmm.
Get some English strength in him because I don't think he's quite ready to replace Baliba yet.
No, no, not yet. I think he just needs to get used to the English game.
Yeah, and then yeah. So, have you got any thoughts about Everton?
Um, I agree with you in terms of it would be quite a tight, cagey game, similar to the Fulham game. I think they are a strong physical side. I mean, all David Moyes teams are, but they are especially a strong physical side. I think the occasion, the atmosphere, I think it's all going to be a very cagey start. I have a feeling that we could see an early Everton goal, but I think the way, in my opinion,
It was
that
like that last year when we played
we
Goodison. They scored
can,
last year at Goodison and they got disallowed.
yeah, yeah, I think the one way that we can, ensure that we have the best chance possible winning the game is genuinely just riding out the first 15 minutes of the game. Make it difficult for them to play. Like make it as hard for Everton as possible in that first 15 minutes. Let them pass the ball about. Let them make the mistakes in the first
Yeah,
15 minutes.
matter
Let
them.
them get their mistakes out of the way. And then I say minutes 20 to 45, we absolutely hit them. Like similar
Yeah,
to what we did last year, where
basically
we just
just like
bombard.
yeah, basically do what we did last year, and I think we'll get a similar result.
Yeah.
Um, obviously this one will be a bit different because the atmosphere will be different.
Yeah, I think it is going to be an incredible atmosphere on Sunday. I think it's going to be one of the best, if not the best, that I've ever been in. And I went to all four European away games, so you can
Yeah,
tell how excited I am.
yeah. in terms of, again, we're going to talk about transport again because I want to talk about the bloke with the clicker.
Yeah.
So when Everton had a test event against Bolton under-21s, they tested out like the emergency exit, so they called the game short. And there's this footbridge which can only take a certain amount of people.
Yeah.
And of course they had to trial a way to manage this footbridge. And there was a bloke with a clicker. He was which was one of the ways they were trying to count to see how many people were on this bridge so it didn't snap. And someone's recording this bloke with the clicker and it's just like 999 and he can't reset it. So that is something, if anyone is going on Sunday, to bear in mind that it's quite difficult to get out because I don't think the train station's very good either.
No, the train station, Jack said it's an island platform which isn't big enough to have a queue on it, so they just shove you onto the first train that gets there, no matter where it's going, which obviously isn't handy. So
Yeah,
I, like many others, I'm not getting the train. I'm driving. Well, my dad is driving on Sunday. I think your dad is driving as
yeah, I'm
well.
driving, but I don't know where I'm going to park yet.
Yeah, I think we've got a parking spot within half a mile of the ground. We managed to book it before they declassified all the parking spots within half a mile
Oh
of the
yeah,
ground. So we managed to get one before they basically said you couldn't park there.
yeah. I'll probably end up going into town because I quite like to see Goodison Park before
Yeah.
I
They've
then
started
go.
taking out the seats in the upper tier at
Yeah, in
Goodison
the
now.
upper tier. That's quite sad. Not that it
Yeah.
affects me, but you know, one of the old school grounds of football is
Yeah.
still remaining actually because they
Yeah.
used it for the women's team.
Yeah, that's why they're taking quite a few seats out.
In terms of the women's team, anyone who does watch the women's team like me, I've got my season ticket now. But the women's team won. I think it was 2-1 today against a Spanish top division side. They are out in Spain on a pre-season friendly. I'm not jibbing this one. I'm not watching.
Not through a
I'm
fence for this one.
I'm in the comfort of my own home. I'm not looking through any fences in Spain. But yeah, they won today 2-1. They've played a few friendlies now. They had a draw with Ajax and they beat Crystal Palace 5-0. So we're back on top of the perch now after Palace's small little run. I've heard there's a few Brighton fans actually going to the Palace game tomorrow.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that. So,
In the Fredrikstad end, I think that's
yes,
how you say it.
Fredrikstad or something. Anyway, they haven't sold their full allocation at Sellers because they're not a massive club. I mean, they're from Norway. They don't actually have their own ticket website, so they're selling their tickets
On the
on the
Palace
Crystal
one.
Palace website on a separate section. And basically, anyone can get their hands on it. So I do know of a few Brighton fans who are making the trip up to Selhurst Park tomorrow for a generational hate watch, let's say.
Yeah,
In the Fredrikstad end.
I did get messaged and I thought about it, and then I was kind of like, this just looks really obsessive.
Yeah, I'm not doing it for the same reason.
I don't want to look obsessed
Yeah,
with Crystal Palace. So I'm not going to their first ever European game. But yeah, if anyone is going, I hope you have a nice time. Like sticker up the place, rip it down, burn it, whatever.
yeah. Do whatever you need.
Yeah, my next football game will probably be either on Saturday, somewhere in the 92, because we got Oxford as well. So I will hopefully go from 29 to 30 out of the 92 in about 5 days, which is pretty good going. But yeah, that's the Fulham reaction, the Everton preview. I've given you my fact already. You see, you can look forward to this. You can have you get 2 facts next week. 2 podcasts means 2 facts.
Yeah, got to come up with a facts for Oxford now.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a difficult one. I think this might be one. See, you can get a bonus one now, and you can get you can get
Bonus
one
fact:
next
you
week.
are all very lucky people.
The Qassam is one of the only grounds that we've got a 100% record at.
Ooh.
One game, one win. Because obviously all the other times we played Oxford, it was at the old Manor Ground. So
yeah, well, we've got an 100% record until Wednesday.
yeah,
No, I'm
so
joking.
up until
I think I'm quite confident.
as of 8:03 on the Wednesday, 20th of August, we have got a 100% record at the Kassam. I'm not sure if we have any other 100% wins at stadiums. It could be Everton on.
Yeah, I was going to say it could be Everton on
Very
Sunday.
much could be Everton on Sunday.
If we win there.
But yeah, that's your fact. You'll get one next week as well in the proper Oxford preview.
Yeah.
But so far, the fact is that the Kassam is one of the only stadiums which Brighton and Albion have a 100% record at, which is one game, one win.
Top stuff. Anyways, thank you very much for listening and watching. And we will see you on Monday or Tuesday with a pre-Oxford and post-Everton reaction. We'll hopefully see you 3 more points on the board next week.
Yes.